What's up, folks? We are back with another midday matchup. It's going to be once again a ZVT between two familiar faces. It's going to be the yellow Zerg in the top right of 2000 atmospheres, kevinnleee. And everyone's favorite Terran player spawning in the bottom left in the pink, Mr. bbreed. So at this point, these two, no strangers to each other. I think recently Kevin has been kind of the Zerg hope against Mr. bbreed. He has been getting victories when other Zergs cannot. And that's thanks to his aggressive style. There is not going to be an early pool this game, but I am pretty sure we will see some sort of aggression. Probably mutas, but we can also see Nidus, or maybe just a delayed Bane bust. Time will tell, but it looks like bbreed going for an early double gas himself. So this is usually reserved for battlecruiser rushes or maybe banshees. You don't usually need two refineries at this point in the game unless you're going for something super tech heavy. So we'll have to see what it's gonna be as the Reaper comes out and second command center gets plopped down on location. And Kevin, he is starting his ling speed, continuing to mine gas as he usually do. And I would not be shocked to see a quick layer. Reaper's gonna hop in. Let's see if he can find any damage. Kind of slacking over there. That's gonna give the queens and lings enough time. And uh-oh, you gotta get out of there now, Reaper. Does get away with its life, but doesn't really get a chance to scout anything or harass any drones. And we do see the factory coming down and a second barracks coming down, so kind of curious. I'm still expecting a starport, but not sure why the second barracks went down. Looks like this Reaper had a bit of a tussle with those lings. Did get two lings and is going to get away. Maybe, now that speed has finished, or... oh no! It does go down. I think it might have been able to make it into that bunker, but did turn around to try to fight, and oh no, these Marines get caught. Not able to get into the bunker as well, so that's pretty bad news for bbreed, as he just got caught with his pants down against only 6 lings. And this is pretty rough, getting another 2 Marines. This Hellion should be enough to shoo them away, but that's pretty good damage on the side of the Zerg player, who is now getting his layer and getting a fast third, or a normal time third, but fast for Kevin. And he does have gases 2 and 3. Not getting the 4th just yet, and as I say that, he does put it down. He's also getting 2 defensive spore crawlers. I don't think he saw anything that really prompts that, so just being safe. And we are not seeing a starport out of bbreed just yet, so as you can see, 900 gas. What was the purpose of that fast second gas? He's floating a lot of gas now, and yeah, he hasn't really gotten a chance to play what he wanted to play, thanks to Kevin's lings, but now he does start off his starport and 2 engineering bays. But Kevin is going for his patented spire. It's gonna be mutas, and in the past bbreed hasn't really had an answer for these mutas. Will he this game? We will have to see, but it's not looking great so far. No missile turrets yet, only a few marines. There's 4 in this bunker and 2 over here. And he is getting that tech lab onto the starport, but again, this just seems so late. He didn't really have a chance to play his build as he wanted to. And now the spire's done, 12 mutas on the way, and we do see a couple missile turrets going down. That's nice, but that's not going to be enough against 12 mutas. That's 12 mutas, everybody. We got 7 here, 5 more joining, and now they are going for it. We'll see how much damage this is going to be able to do. I think it's going to be able to do a lot. This might just straight up end the game, as we do see a heavy supply lead in favor of the Zerg right now. And this muta's going to fly in. See that 1 missile turret, and interesting that they don't just jump on it. I think he absolutely could have, but just gonna fly around, be annoying, and bbreed does not have enough to deal with this. He's got a missile turret over here that isn't even in range, a few marines that the mutas can just straight up fight, and this is absolutely disastrous for the Terran player. Gonna be losing almost all his marines. Now the mutas are on top of his production. Gonna try to pick off some of these attachments, and bbreed once again succumbing to the mutalisk rush out of Kevin. And the lead that Kevin is establishing for himself. Even if he doesn't just end the game right now, it is essentially over. He is double supply right now. He's floating so many minerals and gas because he is focused on microwing, but it doesn't really matter because he is absolutely ravaging the Terran base right now. We've got lings in the natural, mutas continuing to be a nuisance, and GG gets called. Kevin takes the first game. Alright, welcome back. It's game number 2, and well, in the first game we saw pretty much what we expected. A muta rush that caught the Terran player off guard, and just ended the game. The Zerg player, obviously, going to be kevinnleee. And the Terran player who did fall to the Muta Rush, bbreed. So another big part of that first game is those 6 lings that did way too much damage. They absolutely should not have been able to do what they did. They got the Reaper, they got a few Marines, I think they picked off the bunker, and they were just super annoying. I think the Reaper might have been able to get away and hop into the bunker, then it would have been a completely different story. But kind of stopped at the edge of the base and tried to fight the lings and got killed really quickly. And then that kind of snowballed into a very delayed build from bbreed. It did seem like he wanted to go starport, but it was very late. He was floating a lot of gas. Definitely threw him off his game. But game number 2, once again, going for 2 refineries very quickly. Going for a second barracks right off the bat. Kind of an odd choice. I would have expected a quick factory. But gonna be getting a Reaper once again. And Kevin gonna be going for his fast expand. Now the Reaper's gonna come out. And reactor and tech lab on both of these barracks. And it looks like an expansion going to be coming down shortly. And Kevin, his spawning pool is done. A couple lings already. Queens are going to pop out very shortly, so not too sure what this Reaper is really going to be able to accomplish. It is gonna fly around, try to harass some of these drones. Not gonna be able to get one nice pullback on that one red drone. But most importantly, Kevin gonna be able to get away with his Reaper, at least for now. Oh, maybe wasn't really watching. Maybe Kevin could have had an opportunity there. But now, Kevin dropping his second gas, starting his layer already. And what's going to be the follow-up from bbreed? He does have his 2 gases, like I had mentioned. Going to be going for a factory. And he is researching stim, so he does intend to go bio. Perhaps it's going to be some kind of bio tank composition. But he is going to be floating the factory onto the reactor. So, once again, not too sure what the double gas is for, as he is floating a lot of gas once again. Going to be getting his starport down. 2 SCVs trying to build it. What is going on here? Looks like that second SCV is following the first bit of miscontrol there. As he does finally fix that up. And Kevin trying to go for a light harass once again with a handful of lings. Not going to be able to get that much damage this time. And once again, we do see a fast spire out of Kevin. So bbreed, you're gonna have to come up with something. He is getting Widow Mines 2 at a time, and Widow Mines can be fantastic against mutas. And bbreed pretty nice with the the mine shots, at least against lings and banes. So we'll have to see if he manages to get those juicy connections. He is getting his engineering bay, which will allow him to get missile turrets. But it looks like bbreed gonna be moving out with a handful of Marines, a couple Widow Mines, and looks like a single Marauder. Kind of a ragtag army, but let's see if they're gonna be able to get anything done. 9 mutas are on the way, and 9 mutas against 8 Marines, it looks like. I think the mutas win, but not really a fight you want to take as the Zerg player, and especially not with the mines here. So this could be a little dicey as bbreed walks in, picks off a queen, tries to bait the Zerglings into the Widow Mine. Kevin does not take the bait. And now we have 4 Widow Mines here. 1 unburrowed, kind of slacking. And Kevin looks like he's going for the counterattack with the mutas. I think that's a wise choice. The muta's not going to be too impactful against this push. They'll get shredded by the Marines and mines. So, going to see what they can do back at the Terran base, but hold that thought. Kevin's rolling in with his Banes and Zerglings. Well, not rolling because they don't have Baneling speed just yet, but some nice connections do pick off almost all of the Banes and Lings, and the Bio does the rest, but we only have 1 Marauder and a Marine chilling in this medevac. Doesn't want to deal with this. And now the muta's coming back. They're gonna clean up the medevacs, and ooh, that is rough. It doesn't look like they were able to do too much at the Terran base. 3 missile turrets at the natural and 3 more in the main. So bbreed gonna be pretty solid back at home, but the problem is gonna be these Lings which just run in. There's a hole in the wall. Oh no! That's what we call a Timbo wall, as it is known in the business. But not gonna be able to take advantage of that. There's just a little too much Terran over here. But this is still bad news for bbreed. He is stuck on 2 bases. He is trying to get up his 3rd command center, but he's not going to be able to land that anytime soon. And there is a scary Zerg army at his front door. That is so many Banelings! Oh my goodness, 22 on the way, 12 already on the field. Not to mention these mutas. Now, I don't think the mutas are going to be too useful. There's a lot of Marines, a lot of Widow Mines, but these Banelings, they can kill just about everything. But then again, so can the Widow Mines. So it's going to come down to these splash damage units. And Kevin's going to try to bust down the wall. Does get that supply depot. Gets a few Widow Mines as well. And he's going to be morphing in even more Banelings. Oh my god! Now he rolls in once again, gets the building supply depot, but that's a big Widow Mine shot. But now the door is busted wide open, and Kevin's just continuing to send more waves of Banelings. bbreed forced to pick up. Now he does redrop his units. And bbreed floating a lot of resources. He just doesn't have the production facilities to keep up. He needs to throw down some more barracks, factories, everything. He has so much money, but he can't spend it. And now more Banelings rolling in. Lings behind it. Gotta come running into the natural. And they can flood into the main as well. Nope, not gonna go for it. Just gonna devastate the natural for now. Gonna take the fight with a couple Hellions, and bbreed down to 45 supply, forced to lift off his command center. And now the Muta's gonna chase as well. And he's trying to hold in his main, but that is a lot of Zerg, more Banelings being made. And it's nothing but Lings and Banes on the side of Kevin. Sitting on only 43 workers, he is just spamming his Z key. Gonna roll in with some more Banelings, gonna devastate the main base, and GG. Kevin's gonna take game number 2. What's up? This is game numero trace between the yellow Zerg, kevinnleee, and the red Terran, bbreed. So bbreed succumbing to mutas in both games. He had a better defense against mutas in the second game, but still could not handle the Lings and Banes of Kevin. And Kevin kind of just showing that he has options. He can go for mutas, he can go for Bane Bus, he can go for both. He can go for Nidus. And bbreed needs to come up with an answer. He has not had a chance to play his game. He likes to go for his Hellbat bio mine timing, but Kevin not the type to let him get there. So bbreed needs to come up with something new. This game he's going for an early 2 racks. Maybe trying something new here. Going to be getting a Reaper to start things off. No second gas this time. And I don't expect another Reaper out of the second barracks. Probably just Marine to be safe. But this does suggest a bio focus once again. Another Reaper comes out. Over on the side of the Zerg, once again going for his hatchery first. Getting his speed, getting a second gas already. Reaper gonna hop on in. Let's see if they can get any damage. Some nice micro out of bbreed. Gets a Zergling. And that's already good damage. As long as you can keep this Reaper alive and even get a drone, that's fantastic. You can get on out of there. And that's already more than you can hope for as a Terran player. bbreed gonna be pretty comfortable with that. Gonna be dropping his factory, starting his stim research, and ooh, what's this? Pneumatized carapace. That is, of course, the Overlord speed upgrade. Very odd upgrade to go for. Not really sure what that means. He can get a faster scout. Maybe he's thinking of doing drops. And yeah, these two overlords chilling here does suggest drops to me, but he does need a layer. Maybe he did not know about that requirement, so he's getting that layer now. So Kevin trying to go for something a little spicy, it looks like. bbreed gonna be getting a reactor on his factory, and he doesn't really know what it's gonna be out of Kevin just yet. The Reaper's gonna run in, try to scout, but gets cleaned up by all those lings. Now the Reaper did spot no gases at the natural, so that might just be enough information to tell him not spire. But bbreed does need to scan, I think. He needs to scan and figure out what's happening. But even if he does scan, not too much in the main to tell him what's going on. We do see 3 dropper lords flying over to the Terran base, and maybe bbreed anticipating something like Nidus, because he is keeping a good amount of units over here back at home, and that could be very helpful against drops, as Kevin's going to try to drop into the back here. And let's see what bbreed is looking at. He is, not looking at his main base, and these lings is going to be running in. They're going to bypass the main altogether and take the fight with the Marines at the natural. That's not going to go well. So only 2 SCVs down, lost a bunch of Zerglings. That was definitely a bit of a failure out of Kevin. And we see a pretty substantial worker lead from the Terran player. Supply lead from the Terran player, 85 to 49. Now Kevin is trying to establish his third base. He has gotten up 4 gases and thrown down a spire in the midst of all this, but doesn't have too much gas to make mutas with. In fact, not getting any mutas at all just yet. And Kevin actually floating a lot of minerals. I'm not sure what he's really doing with that. Gonna be skipping mutas altogether, I suppose. Throwing down a Hydralisk Den. Maybe all the Marines he spotted kind of put him off the muta idea. And nice job by bbreed recognizing that changeling. Kills it off. And this Overseer, a very zippy boy, gonna be able to get on out of there. 18 more drones on the way from Kevin. Whoa. I don't think I've ever seen him make that many drones at one time. Gonna be saturating his third pretty quickly. But now bbreed is moving out, and Kevin has no idea this is something some Zerg players struggle with. They don't have overlords spread out across the map, so they have no idea what's going on. You're completely in the dark, and Kevin does not know about this army until just now. It's already here. Picks off his 4th base, no cancel there, and Kevin is scrambling. He has not a lot, only, what is that, 8 Banelings And bbreed gonna be walking on into the natural. Kevin trying to tech up to lurkers, but I don't think he's gonna have the chance to do that. This is a massive Terran army. Baneling's gonna roll in, but not accomplish much at all. And now bbreed is wedged in an excellent spot between Kevin's bases. Anything that comes out gonna be trickling in. Kills off the natural. Some more banelings in the main, not gonna be able to get anything done. Few mutas, gonna be absolutely worthless. Some lings do trigger the widow mines, and that's about the best they could have hoped for. And bbreed moments away from putting himself on the board. Gonna move on to the third. Gonna ignore the main for now. I think that's a fine choice. You don't want to squeeze through this tiny little ramp and get exploded by a bunch of banelings. bbreed gonna be taking down this fourth base as well, and once that happens, Kevin will be down to just his main, which is mining out already. Does go down. These drones are not long for this world either. Kevin does have a few infestors, but they don't have the pathogen glands upgrade, so they don't have enough energy for fungals just yet. They will shortly, but I don't even think 4 fungals will be enough to sway the game into deserved favor. And bbreed just containing Kevin onto one base for now. Does have 3 lurkers. Lurkers are pretty strong, but I don't think 3 unupgraded lurkers are gonna make the difference. Kevin even going for neural parasite. Not sure about that choice. There's nothing really here that you would want to neural. 3 mutas fight that 1 marine, and the widow mine gets a muta. And Kevin just trying to scrounge up whatever units he can, moving his lurkers up just a little bit, and okay, that's an okay fungal, but nothing to really follow up. Medevacs are going to be able to heal those marines right back up, and bbreed's 2-2 is almost done. No third, that's the one thing I can fault him on. He has it ready, but not really landing it. And bbreed drops a scan to see if Kevin has any hidden bases. We can see that he does not. bbreed almost tripling Kevin's supply at this point. And really choking him out. Kevin kind of... Oh, that's a big fungal. That's a pretty nice fungal. Slowing the units and allowing the banelings to crash on in, but now there are no more banelings. And there is still marines and medevacs. And pretty soon Kevin's gonna run out of money, as only 4 mineral patches left in the main, and they're getting dangerously close to being mined out. bbreed doing the smart thing and just containing Kevin at this point, and Kevin not getting the vital lurker upgrades. That's of course the seismic spines and the adaptive talons. So these few lurkers, not going to be as powerful as they could be. And now bbreed does... Wait. Oh, so he lands his third here and makes another third here. Odd choice, but that's fine. So bbreed gonna be establishing a future for himself, and at the same time crushing any hopes Kevin has of a future in this game. And GG gets called, so bbreed gonna be able to take a map at least. Alright, we are loaded up into game number 4, it's gonna be. And this game gonna be played on Beckett Industries. This is the smallest map in the map pool, at least in terms of rush distance. And we see a very early drone coming out of Kevin. So going for something a little spicy. Looks like it's gonna be perhaps a proxy hatchery. And where's he gonna try to make this hatch? Not sure what it's doing here. Okay, so he is gonna make a base in bbreed's natural. Bbreed has no idea just yet. And not even sending a scout this game. Perhaps this SCV will go for the scout once it's done with the barracks, but so far bbreed completely in the dark. He is getting 2 barracks, so he will be able to pump out Marines when he is ready. Gonna start things off with a Reaper, however, once again. And Kevin gonna be going for his spawning pool behind this. Very standard in that regards, but no natural expansion. So he is gonna go for something very aggressive with this proxy, I'd expect. Obviously his units coming out of this hatchery are very, very close to bbreed's base. And I would like to have seen him take a few drones and make some spine crawlers. But now bbreed does spot it, and he's going to have to come up with a solution to this. Going to throw down a factory, and I would expect this to be for siege tanks. Now, Kevin going to be going for a roach warren back at home, so now he can start making roaches. This one Reaper not going to really accomplish too much over here. I think it would be better served to go across the map, and oh, he should dive on this creep tumor, but he does not. Is gonna let it get up, and That's gonna be a pretty bad because now the creep is, well, creeping into bbreed's main base. So if these structures were to go down, he cannot remake them on top of the creep. Kevin is going to start morphing Ravagers here now. And he does have a Spine Crawler as well. The one thing he is missing is an Overlord for the high ground vision, so he is going to have to walk up the ramp just a little bit to gain the vision. And of course that means he will have to take some damage on the Ravagers. So every time he wants to do that, he's going to get peppered by the bio. Now he is making a Overlord here, so that's going to be very helpful to give him that vision. Kevin going for Banelings as well, so it's going to be just about everything that the Zerg has in their early game arsenal. Lings, Banes, a single Roach, Ravagers. But bbreed is set up pretty nicely. He has 2 bunkers. He is getting his siege tank. And once that siege tank comes up, I think he'll be in a beautiful spot. The siege tank gonna start shelling away at this hatchery, and I don't think Kevin really wants to try to bust at this point. So he should go home. Gonna start off a bunch of drones to make use of this layer. Gonna rally them back home. So cheeky little play out of Kevin, but in the end does not really get too much done besides be a nuisance. Now both players are back to 1 base, and I think that favors the Terran player, who does have a Banshee, and he does reveal it. I think that was a bit of a mistake. He should have just gone across the map, and I think he would have gotten a lot of damage. But now he did reveal it, and it allows Kevin to throw up some spores, so he will be more than prepared when the Banshee does eventually move out. Looks like it's just going to be used to clean up this spine and perhaps this creep for now. So once again, this is not much more than an inconvenience for bbreed. There's creep in his natural, and it's going to take a lot of scans to clean this up, so I wouldn't mind seeing a Raven out of this starport. He already has the tech lab, and I don't think the Banshees are going to be able to get too much done, so I would like to see this cloak cancelled, the second Banshee cancelled. He does drop a scan to clean up a few of those tumors, but we do see more over here, and it's going to take a lot of scans, so again that Raven would be very useful in this position. Now Kevin has gotten his rightful expansion. He's going for a layer, but we see he is pretty far behind in terms of supply as well as, well, everything really. He's trailing 21 drones to 25 SCVs. His army is not quite there either. And bbreed going for an attack. There are no spores in the natural, so these Banshees are going to be pretty useful. I was just saying that they're not going to get a lot done, but maybe he will. And of course there's this massive Terran army right outside Kevin's natural, and I think he could honestly just walk in and end the game. But bbreed gonna be a little more careful, and that's not a bad choice. And ooh, that was rough. does lose a handful of Marines to some slow Banes. And not sure what that was about. Drops a scan in his own natural. I don't think there was anything there, so not sure what that was for. And now he is trying to go for the engagement. And Roaches and Ravagers, not the best unit against this composition from bbreed. They're very slow. They don't do a ton of damage. bbreed just going to kite this back, allow the tanks to deal with those slow banelings. Kevin trying to land the biles, but it's very difficult to do that against bile units. And anytime he gets close, he's going to get shelled by the tanks. And we're actually going to land a bile on one of those Banshees and picks it off. But these two remaining Banshees pretty much uncontested in the air. Unless they get too close to the spores, which they are doing. But now the bio moving forward picks off the natural. And it looks like bbreed gonna be able to take this game. It's only a matter of time. Kevin trying to get up some more units, but that's not looking good for him. A few more banelings waddling forward, gonna get blasted out of existence, and GG. bbreed is gonna be able to tie this up. Alright, we are loaded into the 5th and final map in this, well, I guess it's a best of 5 at this point. We are all tied up to a piece. Final map is going to be Blackburn. bbreed going to start things off with an early SCV. This is kind of early for a scout. So is it going to be a proxy? Or I don't know. Does he always send his scout this early? Kevin gonna be going for a fast expand once again. This time at his own natural. It does look like that was just a scout from bbreed. It was early though. And bbreed looks like he's been favoring this 2 racks opening in this series. I think we'll see a Reaper once again. This one SCV still scouting around. Gonna be heading on home now. And no Reaper, in fact, gonna be an immediate reactor getting thrown down. So a few things about this map. First of all, it's symmetrical down the middle. So while most maps it's kind of like a cross situation, this map, both players spawning on the bottom, they'll be expanding upwards, so actually away from your opponent, and that's going to favor the Zerg just a little bit. And of course there is this gold base, which many players try to take for their third, or at least fourth, but it is easily harassable behind the mineral lines. So a Terran player could put some Marines back there and make it very difficult for the Zerg to mine. So I don't think we'll be seeing that out of Kevin, as he is running in with 2 Lings just to do a little scout, and not going to be able to get in, but he does see the front of the ramp at least. Does see the reactor, and if I were Kevin, I'd be looking at this wall as a very bustable target. You could run in right here with Banelings and you'll be able to get this attachment as well as both supply depots. So that's something he could consider. But he's going for an early layer once again. He does have his second gas. 3 and 4 are coming up as well. So might be seeing those mutas once again, the tried and true units for Kevin, which bbreed has not really had an answer for thus far. And bbreed gonna be going for tanks this game. 3rd barracks as well as a reactor coming down for it. So the anti-muta tech is gonna be a little light. The engineering bay does complete, which is gonna give him access to missile turrets. So he's gonna need a few of those to really be comfortable in this game. Of course, the siege tanks means we're likely not going to be seeing Widow Mines anytime soon. And does bbreed have any scouting? No, he has no idea what's going on the Zerg side of things, as the Spire is more than halfway complete. So bbreed gonna need to sniff this out, and he's gonna need to do it soon. Overseer is gonna fly in, and it looks like he wanted to drop this changeling in the main base, but maybe a little premature. So has to take the long way around. And Kevin's gonna get a nice scout. Gonna see the lack of missile turrets. Only 1 in each of the mineral lines, so scratch that. There is 1 here, but mutas are still going to be able to do pretty decent damage, I think. This supply depot is free, and 10 mutas they can more than deal with single missile turrets. So bbreed gonna be in a rough spot once those mutas fly over. He is getting an armory, which will open the door for Thors, but that won't be for another minute or so, and the mutas are already on their way. So let's see how much damage Kevin's gonna be able to do, and if bbreed will be able to hold this off. The mutas have arrived. They are gonna start working on this supply depot, get a marine for free as well. And bbreed in a spot of trouble once again. Losing some more marines, gonna lose another supply depot. Good job by Kevin, saving all his mutas so far. And gonna pick up yet another supply depot. And this is just so annoying. Thor is here, however, and that's going to be very helpful to repel those mutas. As Kevin don't want that heat from the Thor. He's gonna fly all the way back home. I don't think you really need to go that far, but he does have his third and a fourth on the way as well. Curious fourth location. You don't usually see Zergs expand towards their opponent if they have the option. I would have liked to see it here rather. But I don't expect he'll be mining from that for some time, as his third's not even fully established. Kevin getting a hive already. He is also getting pathogen glands as well as burrow. So it looks like he might be trying for some burrow infestor shenanigans perhaps. As Muta's gonna try to fly in once again, see if they can do any damage. Gonna run into some Thor volleys and gonna turn around very quickly. Gonna rotate on over to natural, see if they can find any damage there. Might be able to get another supply depot. And they do get that supply depot. 4 Marines not gonna be enough. Kevin continuing to be very annoying with this, and even though he hasn't been able to get any SCV kills, he has been containing bbreed on these 2 bases, and that gives him time to establish his third, which is now fully saturated, and he is droning up his fourth. He's gotten his hive, he's getting neural parasite, he's getting adrenal glands. The one thing that's lacking is attack upgrades, attack and or armor, and the creep spread is non-existent. But Kevin has a firm hold of this game. He's up to 76 workers. I don't think I've ever seen Kevin get this many workers. And bbreed still locked in on 2 bases. Looks like there is not even any plans for a third just yet. Instead, bbreed going to be going for an attack, and this is pretty all in. If he loses this army, he has essentially no money to remake it. So it's pretty do or die at this point, and Kevin just started up 11 infestors. That's a little too many infestors. Sure, they are very useful, but you need some more meat to your army, and this is why I did not like this base. It's very easy to get picked off whenever the Terran decides to move out. So down it goes very quickly, 5 drones along with it. And let's see what Kevin's going to be able to do with these infestors. Going to drop a few more fungals, but losing almost all his infestors to do so. Not going to be able to kill most of these Marines. And oh my god, is bbreed going to be able to do it with this push? Banelings roll in, don't get the connections they need. These Marines going to be very low, but there's not much Zerg left to really finish the job. Some more Zerglings on the way. Will they be the difference maker? They do have adrenal glands, but no upgrades, and oh, they're just rallying into their deaths, not even going for the fight. Kevin down to 69 supply, nice. Now it's down to, well, going back up to 76, and bbreed making it happen with this push. Oh my god, it looked so rough, but just a beautiful timing, I guess. Didn't give Kevin the time to get any hive tech, and those 11 infestors, that was definitely a mistake. I think maybe 5 or 6 would have been fine, and put the rest into Lings and Banes. Fungal growths do not stack, so if you put 2 fungals at the same time, they still do the same amount of damage as 1 fungal. And of course, a bit of a miscontrol when he went for the fungals here, losing a lot of his infestors. Now bbreed going into the main base. Kevin has nothing left, and GG. bbreed gonna take this best of 5 series 3-2.